Welcome back to The Unleashing. I'm your host, Jared Beeler. It's been a few weeks since I made a video, and I've been just kind of watching the signs, paying attention to what's going on in the world, and I want to see what's taking place and if anything's going to change on this course that we're heading to, which is absolute destruction, the tribulation starting, and the blessed hope getting blasted out of here, which is what I'm hoping for. Nothing's changed course from what I'm seeing. This is going to be kind of like just a rapture update video. Just talking about certain things. You know, I've been out camping a little bit, like the past 5 weekends. Me and my brother got to go up to the mountains last weekend. That was pretty fun. Me and my brother about to go do a little camping. Yo, what's up, bro? Gonna go hiking up the mountain. Gonna be a good time. All right, we've made it to the lake. It's beautiful. How do you feel?
Fine.
Nice.
Could have been worse. It's not gonna be bad.
All right, let's go find a camp spot. Beautiful. It goes way up there. Oh yeah, this is nice. Perfect. Just trying to get back to nature and everything, but trying to be at peace, talk to God, and really just watching these signs that are taking place. But nothing's veering the course. We're still headed straight for it. I said before that if I saw something, the Pope were to die or something like that, I would change up some stuff, be like the Malachi prophecy is now off, at least until further notice, so we can find out something on this. Every single key is still in place, and only since then, just the way it always has been, more and more stuff keeps just picking up towards it. And then we find out that the UN's meeting this year on Feast of Trumpets is their title is Peace and Safety, the same thing that we hear in the Bible when you hear peace and safety, run to the hills because sudden destruction comes. I mean, they're like literally throwing it in our face, and I've said it before, the elites, the Luciferians, the governments, they know about these timelines, they have the whole time. They absolutely have their agenda. They want to make this stuff happen on those times that they can, so it can make them look like they're the spiritual leaders in this, and they're the ones that are in control, and really they're not. I don't know if you guys have known this before, but like a lot of these higher ups, UN and stuff like that, they will literally follow parts of the Bible to try to make it happen, to make it more realistic for their idea, but at the same time, it's like, how can you be so stupid? You're following the same plans that show that you guys lose at the end. But they think they're going to win at the end because they're so literally deceived. They think that Lucifer's going to win, and somehow they're going to be standing on top. And they're just going to be an absolute, utter destruction. They're going to be thrown into the lake of fire. It's unbelievable, but it's true, and it keeps happening. For telling people about God's return, I say just keep it up. The closer we're getting to this, it's more proof. You know, we still have faith. There's not one person on YouTube, me included, or anywhere else that has 100% guarantee of a certain day that this has place, that this is going to take place on. I wish that I could, so it would be like, yeah, okay, we have a certain date, but we're not going to be given that. God's not going to show us. He said that He would do it through signs, and that's what He's done. He's given us more than enough to point that, hey, this really looks like it, and these certain signs won't be happening again. And more is just picking up. I can't believe that North Korea hasn't been attacked yet. It blows my mind. And as close as we're getting, I'm starting to think that they might just save the whole thing for September 23rd and Feast of Atonement and try to push it that way. Maybe run some sort of agenda where they're like, this was World War III and Armageddon, what the Bible spoke of. But now we're going to enter in an era of peace. Here's our new leader. This is the Christ that we've been waiting for. And some sort of trickery with that where it's going to be the Antichrist. Who knows? There's a number of different things that can happen. You know, I thought that, you know, they would bomb North Korea and then maybe use this a few weeks later as an excuse for a worldwide peace treaty that we know takes place. But is that going to be the case? Only time will tell. I don't know. It could be the rapture. And I mean, that would be the best one of all. The rapture takes place. And then the world, because of the hysteria of people being taken and children everywhere, they come together and go, we need to have peace and stop this war. Which, of course, right after that, once the Christians are gone, the church, the called out ones, they're with the Holy Spirit, they're holding this whole thing back from taking place because God's got his hands on it. All hell's going to break loose. The seals are going to be opened. And the end of the world's going to start. You know, I'm still going around. I'm trying to catch the last of my friends in person, have conversation with them, let them know, hey, this is legit. It's going down. I mean, just as I talk to you, I've talked to them in person. I've told them every single thing that I possibly can to, you know, let them know that this is a legitimate thing and there's absolute possibility to it. Show the science behind it. You know, people have the hardest time because evolution's done such handiwork in trying to prove all of it wrong. You know, I talked to them about the cities underneath the Mediterranean, that if the ice caps were melted, scientists admitted it would take us up 5 to 7 feet over the coastline. Sure, we'd lose Florida and stuff like that around the world, but it wouldn't flood the earth. How come there are cities under the Mediterranean that is down 2 miles and 3 miles in its deepest points in the Mediterranean? This is impossible. Where did this water come from? Then you go back to Russia digging that hole, and they say there's 150 miles of water underneath the crust. That's more than our 7 miles that we have on top. And it goes back to Noah. The whole thing fits in perfectly. You can take the population of the world, and when you look at it in 1965, it's 3.3 billion. We're at 7.5 right now. 1900, just 100 years ago, it was 1 billion. You go back 2,000 years to 1 AD, the estimated is 200 million worldwide population. And they want to say that we started 100,000, a million years ago? No, it's not possible. All right? These points prove that it was young. 4,000 years ago, Noah and his family got off the ark, and that started, and that fits with the timeline of our population increase. There's so many different things, and I try to use this to tell my friends, you know, it's really open their minds, but ultimately, in the end, it has to be their decision. Why do I keep pushing then? Plan B, because of what John says, it gives me hope that these people in heaven that have died have come out of the tribulation realizing, holy crap, I've made the worst mistake of my life. And for that reason, you got to keep pushing. Just keep pushing. When it seems impossible and your friends aren't listening, you know, just keep pushing anyways, because if they hear you, the only other word they're going to hear is yours or the government. The government's going to be like, aliens took them, blah, blah, blah. They're going to follow the agenda and be totally deceived. Or they're going to remember yours, and when you have told them, I will be disappearing, going off the planet, it lasts for 7 years. These are the first things that take place. There's a guy that comes on the scene, a peace deal's made. We're going to have World War III. There's going to be worldwide economic collapse, and you're laying it out one for one, and that's exactly what's happening. They're going to remember what you said. I guarantee it. And when they do, you have just put a seed in them that could literally make them make the most important decision, which is asking Jesus to be their Savior. And if they die during that time, when they're going to, then they are going to make it to heaven, you know, and that's the most important part. So I just encourage everybody to just keep telling and witnessing to their family and friends, keep talking about it. I love talking about it, and, you know, I don't get to too much because most of the time I'm not blabbing to people about this stuff and doing my best to try and convert them and let them know the truth so I can help out the people I care about. But it's so nice when you get to talk to certain people that are like, yeah, absolutely on board for this rapture. It's like, oh my gosh, it's refreshing. It's like, I'm not alone in this. There's few of us, but yeah, I'm not alone, and it's awesome. I got to talk to my sister the other day. That was like one of the best things. We were talking for about an hour on it. Just all the exciting stuff, the freedom that we're going to have when we get to go there, you know, the things he has in store for us just have never been seen, can't be imagined. We're both talking about all the different things that we can imagine, how awesome it's going to be to step through these dimensions and have a new body that has basically no limits, you know, and me talking about my vision where I was in the rapture back in 2014 and the flying. Oh my gosh, it was incredible. The power that I felt that I had, and not to mention the joy. It was just amazing, but no work. Just no work. Instantly I'm reminded as I'm flying up, there's no work anymore. You're not going to be doing a pointless job ever again. It's all going to matter, you know. You're going to enjoy it. It's going to be awesome. Family, friends, the eagle vision that I got to experience, just like that. Boom, zoom in. It's incredible. You know, it's this kind of stuff I just long for. I feel the man inside my spirit, man, and he has these abilities and the things that he wants to do, you know, and I'm trapped in this vessel, in this testing ground vessel of basic training that we have here on earth to make the decision and, oh God, you know, I'm tired of it. There's nothing I can do to make this body more powerful. It's like I need to be in the afterlife. I need to go to this next place. That's what the whole point is for. And this is going to feel like the dream. And it's going to be so much more incredible. The things that we're going to get to see and the loved ones we're going to get to experience stuff with and share for eternity. It's just going to be awesome. And not to mention all the fun, kick-ass stuff that we're going to do with God, like riding back with him in Armageddon, seeing him lay down the law. It's going to be so badass. Flying horses. I mean, all the different stuff that we've talked about and that you've heard from other people, L.A. Marzulli and all that other stuff, it is going to be awesome. It's not going to be a bad time. You're not going to be playing a harp, okay? It's not going to be boring. It's going to be totally kick-ass. And, that's just awesome. It reminds you that this isn't our home. We're just passing through. These things will fade away. Moth eats it, rust, corrosion, problems, robbery, everything like that. You're going to be able to store up things in heaven that last a lifetime, and that's going to be incredible and so much more worth it. So just keep pushing. I don't know how much to say about this, other than we keep watching these events take place, and they're all fitting into it exactly like they're supposed to for the rapture to take place and the tribulation. I got nothing else to say, but this looks like it's still going to happen. There is nothing that's pulled away from it. Everything's only pointing in towards it, and I'm so grateful that God's showing us. And it makes perfect sense when Paul's talking in Thessalonians, and he says that you are not in darkness, brothers and sisters, for you'll know perfectly well when this time comes. You'll be able to see it. And that's exactly what he was talking about. It's not no man knows the day or the hour. We're showing this. And through John, through the Bible from Jesus, and because of this, we know and we can be prepared. We see these signs. He's given us a conscience to think about this stuff. And it's incredible because we can see it. And it's not just like one sign here, And if you can go just off the Revelation 12 sign, that's incredible. And good for you, your faith is strong. But I have mentioned all these other signs from the Malachi prophecy. We're at the 112th pope. That proves the Malachi prophecy right there. Here we are, and it fits it perfectly. The Revelation chapter 17 from Lantern Treaty of 1929. He's the 8th king, and the 8th king is the false prophet, talking about the Vatican and the Pope. All right? Daniel's timeline from that Shiza guy from Australia, who's got a few things mixed up, but he did his timelines. And when you add the 2,550 days together from the first of tribulation and the second half, it fits perfectly between Feast of Trumpets and Feast of Atonement and 2017 and 2024. Then we have the eclipse marked perfectly. A month warning for the last month that it happened right on the first of it before we go into Rosh Hashanah. And then it comes down on the first of Nisan, 2024, giving like a 7-month warning up to when Feast of Atonement's going to happen. I mean, marked perfectly. Since the eclipses happened, we've had hurricanes. I don't know if they're natural, and I don't trust that they are. The way that they can use HAARP to manipulate things. I know they did it during Hurricane Katrina. They used it to do gun confiscation in a test run for that. So what they're doing here, they got FEMA down there. They're busting people in the Walmarts. My buddy from Perilous Times, if you haven't checked it out, has the video of the homeless man on the street, and he's talking about how Salvation Army of them took them in, and he's staying out of it because they killed everybody they took in there to help. Who knows what's going on down there, but they had that on the news and they cut the feed. It's just crazy, but they've got troops in there and stuff. And it's basically, like I say, the government knows what's going on in September. They're planning this stuff. So if they can pregame it, get troops already in on one of the states that have the most guns and people that are against too much government control, this is just only going to help them with their hostile takeover that happens shortly after. So, who knows what's going to go down with this. But none of it's coincidence, and judgment's coming, and you can just see it all lining up. And for those that don't, it's because you got your head in the sand. You're not even paying attention to it. These economic experts that don't even know about biblical stuff are all pointing the same thing, that we're about to have the worst crash ever. The economy's not doing good. Things are getting worse. And that fits perfectly with the third horse of the seal. And it's all part for this fall, You've heard people say this over and over again, and there's been a lot of crying wolf, and it's made people doubt it. But this is different. Like I've said the whole time, we have some tangible stuff here that proves it. We've done our due diligence and looked into this. This is the Revelation 12 sign. It's really taking place. Can you see these things that are taking place at the same time that you would expect to? Yeah, they all are. They're all taking place at the same time. It's fulfilling it perfectly. It's incredible. When God comes and gets us at that moment, I have no idea what that time is, but I know that it's going to be some serious heavy watching around the 20th through the 23rd, and I'm expecting stuff to happen, even up to Feast of Atonement, 5 days after, or further than that, to September 29th or 30th. I'm expecting stuff maybe all the way up to then too, 10 days after. But because it fits with the tribulation being 7 years long, so could it be pushed back a little bit? Possibly. I'm not giving up on this, but I'm expecting something to happen, and it literally looks like it. So keep the faith, keep pushing, keep witnessing to people. It's not in vain. We're trying to help as many people as we can, and like I say, even if they're not listening to you, they are listening. And it's better at this time because it's jarred in their mind. I worry about some of the people I talked to about 3 years ago, that I haven't got to talk to again. I told them about this stuff, but will they remember? Gosh, I hope so. But if you're talking to somebody this month and they think you're crazy and then it happens, it's going to be fresher in their mind. So that is good, So keep it up. Push harder now, especially at the finish line. If you're dealing with sin and stuff like that, I like to think that we all are. Because we know it's coming and those that are watching, we're really trying to clean up our act even more. And the more you try to clean up your act for God, the more it reveals the sin in your life that you have that you might have not paid attention to before. And it just shows how wretched we are and how the real reason is we're only saved by grace. He saved us when we were at our worst. He went to the cross. He knew all our sins from the end to the beginning to the end. And, we're not good. We're saved by grace. It's because we accept him and we realize that he's the only way to make it, and because of that, asking him into our heart, that we're saved, that we get to have this experience, that we're looking for him and that we love him. And when we mess up, we ask for forgiveness. We realize that it was bad, not carelessly going around doing bad stuff, but we realize that we've messed up, and we can never have a sinless, perfect body while we're on this planet. It only comes afterwards. And that is when we're going to be in heaven, and it's going to be an incredible thing. And we're going to realize, it's so wonderful not to have that in our life anymore. So if you are dealing with that, don't give up. Just keep trying your best. We try our whole lives to shave off that sin and be the best that we can, but we're not saved by that, and nor can we ever shave it all completely off, even though we try. It's something that we do out of respect because he selflessly saved us. When he died on the cross when we're at our worst. Out of respect and honor, selflessness, we try to do our best to live a life that doesn't have sin in it. So keep trying on that and keep pushing and don't give up. I know it's tough. It's tough for everybody. I'm dealing with stuff too, and it's not easy. It's why I've been out camping. I just want to get away from things, clear my mind and stuff like that. And that's been kind of refreshing. But it's getting down to the wire, and don't give up on this. Even if you start to feel down about things like that, don't give up. Just keep looking up because your redemption draweth nigh. Keep looking up. He's coming back for us, and it's not over. It's only about to begin here. It's exciting. So keep telling your loved ones, like I say, try and help as many people as possible. I keep looking for something that might point for this, but it's all pointing straight towards it. There's nothing that's pointing away from it. So I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing, and that's telling people the truth that, hey, this is about to go down. Please get right with God. If you don't, this is what you're going to have to go through. But please listen up because this is legit. And I want to help as many people as possible. And I hope that you guys are all doing that too. If this video, of course, helps you or you think it'll help somebody, share it. Or share something else. Absolutely welcome to. Use it on any videos or whatever that you need to that's going to help. Talk about it. Don't listen to these naysayers or preachers. Like I say, it was not revealed to them. And I've been trying to figure out why. Why is it not revealed to these main pastors? And there's only one thing I can think of, and that's because they've been lying to people for so long through tithing and other things, deception, and it's not granted to them. Will some of them make it? I have no idea. That's in God's hands. But one thing's for sure, it sure as heck has not been revealed to them. And they can see it. I've literally heard them say, oh, well, we know that Jesus came on the Passover days, and, it's a real high time that we could possibly have a rapture on the Feast of Trumpets. Oh, the Revelation 12 sign, that's nothing. Hello, do you guys realize that it's falling on Feast of Trumpets? And they can't even see it. It's like their mind's been completely blind to it, and yet some of ours is open to it. It's like, how is that possible? And the only way that it is through the Holy Spirit and Jesus. He has revealed it to us. That's why I've said it before, I'll say it again. I'm not some sort of badass that knows all this stuff by myself. I ask God for this stuff. I look into it and I pray about it, and He has revealed it to me. So all the credit goes to Him. Always, always the credit goes to Him. And all of you that have got to see and witness it, that's awesome. It means you're looking for it. You love Jesus, and you're not deceived by this stuff. There's so many Christians out there that are going to church, and they want to listen to their pastor or whatever because they think that that's the way, and they're forgetting that they have the relationship to go straight to God through Jesus Christ and ask Him themselves, and they can have discernment and all the things, but they don't. They're blinded because they really don't want it. And when you talk to them, and you talk to a Christian, and they're like, oh yeah, that sounds great, and you start saying, hey, the rapture could be now, you start to see the real colors of them. They don't want it at all. They want to stay in the world. They're doing just fine with whatever they have. They want the sin and everything else and all the money and things like that, and they don't realize the second that we're out of here, all of that's going to go away instantly. They're going to be in the tribulation and realizing they made the worst mistake of their life. So, it's really stupid and it's deceptive, but I'm telling you, a line has been being drawn in the sand now. Those who want to go and are going, and those who don't want to go and aren't going anywhere, right? It's pretty obvious, and some of these people are Christians, and this is the foolish virgins. In the Bible, it says there's 5 wise and 5 foolish ones. Now, I'm not going against the Bible or anything like that, but from what I've seen, it's more like there was 2 wise and 8 foolish, because the numbers are not big. And even in my rapture vision I had in 2014, I'll never forget, after I woke up from it, and I was talking to my brother, I was like, wow, strange. That part of town has about 2,000 people. I only saw 5 to 8. The numbers were not staggeringly huge that I saw. Was that maybe something that was just a dream? I don't know. But man, it sure has been accurate, and it felt like something that it's nothing I've ever experienced before, especially the joy and stuff like that. I believe it absolutely was a vision of it, and I'm holding to that forever. It was truly incredible. So, I don't know, but these numbers with these people, there's a lot of people that are buying into some false stuff. And when I hear YouTube videos and they're going on there and these people are talking, it's just like, oh, good grief. Another thing I want to talk about that I haven't said before, and this was going to be short, but here I go rambling on again. There's something I've noticed back a while ago, and this is not a foolproof idea, but it is something that I've seen, and I kind of want to share it. One of the things that I've noticed is, if somebody's off on their preaching somewhere, they're off on the rapture time. It's very interesting. Let's go to that Steven Anderson guy who says you never need to repent, and you absolutely don't do it. All right, while he's up and cursing out people and everything else, a total maniac. Well, when does he believe that the rapture happens? He's post-tribulation, the most stupid idea of all. That it all happens at the very end and we go through it. All right. And his teaching is completely off. Then we have Steve Quayle, all right? I love Steve Quayle to death. The guy has brought more information to people than I've seen before. But this is when you have to use discernment, and this is how I work. You take the good stuff, you throw out the bad stuff, comparing it to Scripture. Steve Quayle's got some great stuff, and he's right about tons of stuff. He believes the rapture is mid-trib, and that the tribulation is 3.5 years. That's pretty whack. Where does he get off on this stuff? His teaching must be off somewhere, and this is my idea. It says it's not foolproof, but it sure does seem to be accurate in a lot of ways. And one of the things is he goes back to pre-Adam and Eve. I have a problem with this. The Bible does not talk about pre-Adam and Eve, all right? It goes back, and this is when I told him that I believe in the Bible, so I cannot follow this. When I made my promise to God for him to show and reveal stuff to me, I said that I'd follow the Bible. And the Bible only goes back 6,000 years to Adam and Eve. That was the beginning, his creation. The angels and stuff like that, absolutely, it could have been around, and I believe that there was stuff going on before that in heaven, but not this dimension, and not planets, and not earth being habitated before God created it, or any crazy stuff like that. And when it starts to get into that, I just can't bite it. For that reason, maybe that's what threw off his rapture idea. Then you have L.A. Marzulli. The guy seems to be on a lot of stuff. He's accurate. What does he believe? Pre-tribulation rapture. And he hasn't done any of that whack stuff. So, it's like, it's pretty interesting. It's not totally foolproof, but if you have noticed people that talk about certain things, somewhere there's teachings off. If somebody says this Revelation 12 sign's not going to happen, you start listening to teaching, how do they sound when they're preaching to you? Do they sound like they're legit, they're spitting out fast, they know what they're talking about? Or is it all stuttery and weird, you're not getting anything, and it's all becoming confusing to you? If it is, there's something off with their teaching, and then somehow, one way or another, it throws off their rapture idea. It's just something that I've noticed. I haven't talked about it yet in a video or anything like that, but it's something I've been paying attention to now for about a few years or so. And I thought it's kind of interesting, and I don't know what to make of it exactly, but it could be what they're teaching as a punishment, and it could be the very reason with the falsity of the church and what they've been teaching with the lies and some of the stuff going on in there, including tithing and things like that, why they're not allowed to see the Revelation 12 sign as a legitimate thing. It's hidden from them for some reason. Hard to say. I don't know. I don't have it down completely why they haven't, but it hasn't been. Like a few people on YouTube have mentioned, it was revealed to watchmen, those who have been paying attention, and it's completely obvious to us. So, and we're the ones sharing and try to sound the alarm, So it's just something that I kind of wanted to throw out, and I find it kind of interesting. But anyways, This has just been a rapture update video. Keep the encouragement, keep the faith. This is getting close one way or another. Yeah, we see the wars and rumors of wars, and we still might even see some bombs drop before this stuff takes place. But keep holding tight to Jesus. He's going to get us out of here. He's coming back. This is the end of days. We've really made it. It's legitimate. Imagine the people that when Jesus first showed up, they wait, this is what we've been hearing the whole time? Holy crap, it really happened. It's going to be the same thing for us. It's like we've seen so much bad, it's hard to imagine good. So for that reason, even I struggle with it. It's like, is this real? My mind can't wrap its mind around. My mind can't wrap around the idea of it because it's just too incredible. It's like I can grab it for a second, but I can't hold on to it. But at the same time, my faith, and my spirit man is going, this is feeling like it big time. For that reason, keep talking, keep telling people about God, keep pushing as much as you can, because if it helps them, it's going to be worth it in the long run. And I believe that it will. So keep doing that, But keep the faith, keep looking up, and I just want to say God bless. If I see anything else coming up, I'm gonna make a video about it, of course. But everything's heading straight for it, and this has just been a rapture update. And I want to give you guys some encouragement. All right, hang in there. Your redemption draw with me. God bless. Bye.